Hi,
everybody.
Welcome to Tuesday Night Knit Chat Cafe. My name's Noelle, and this is my friend,
Kelly.
And we are coming to you from Southwestern Ontario, Canada.
Both of us. Yes.
Both of us. Yes. For a few weeks. So welcome, everybody. We're glad you're all here. This is our knitting podcast. And this is our Tuesday evening get together, and we're glad that you're all here. And we all also want to wish a warm welcome to everybody that watches after the fact.
Absolutely.
Because we know it's not always a good time for everybody. And, we have lots of different time zones all over the world. So welcome to everybody. So we hope you're all doing fine. We hope that your weather is great wherever it is. We definitely had a fall day here today.
Yes, I'm wearing,
fall.
It's officially sweater weather in my area today. I am wearing a sweater. It's cool. It's really cool.
It's cool. It was cool. I think it's, like a month from now, I'll probably be thinking this is warm. But today, because it's been so hot and it's so much cooler, it just feels really chilly. But, in a month we'll be going, oh, it's a nice day. We can sit outside. But it was a little chilly today. The breeze was a little cool. So. But anyway, we're okay because we're all knitters, and we have the wardrobe for whatever season it might be.
We do. And we have layers and layers. Yes.
So I do still just have like a short sleeve top on, but I did have to go out. But in the sun, it was okay. Just was a little cool if you were out of the sun and in the breeze. So, but anyway, welcome everybody. We're glad you're all here. I don't know, where should we get started? It was, I know you had a busy weekend, Kelly, so.
I did. I've got a few pictures to show. I was away on the weekend, and let me just pop into the other side there and get them. So I went to a music festival, and it was the first time that I had gone to this. This was the Music in the Fields Festival in Lucknow, Ontario. And it was an amazing event. They have about 1,800 campsites there of people that were there over the weekend. And there's a really big stage. They had a lot of music acts. It was anything from like new country, old country. There was like some rock there as well, like different things. And this is the group of people that I went with, and we all hung out together for the weekend, and we had a fabulous time. So we took our trailer, obviously. And the great thing about this festival is that it is run by a not-for-profit organization, and all of the profit proceeds are donated to local charities in the area. And they have been doing the festival now, I believe, for 17 years. And they have given literally millions of dollars to these charitable donations that they have. So it was a lot of fun to go to. It was pretty hot there on the first day, but not too bad the rest of the days. And we did have some crazy threatening rain, but luckily, we only got a little shower one evening, and it was about 10 minutes, and that was it. So, so that was 4 days of a lot of walking around in cowboy boots at that too. But anyway, it was a lot of fun, and I'm hoping to do it again next year. So, yeah. And what did you get up to on the weekend, Noelle?
Well, I had Molly and Isla from Thursday until last night. So. And then Zoe joined us also for the weekend for Saturday and Sunday. So we had lots of good trips to the park, and for French fries under the bridge, and for ice cream, and lots of swimming in the pool. The pool was definitely well used. So
yeah, I bet.
Very well used. So so it was a good weekend. But I'm telling you, there is a reason you do not have kids when you're in your 60s. Because my energy is not what it was when my kids were small. And somehow the kids these days have just as much energy as our kids did. So, but it was a lot of fun. So
that's good. Good.
So I did not have any questions this week.
Okay. Well,
did you have any?
No. Not that, no. I will admit I wasn't checking emails, and plus I had no internet for the entire weekend. So I've been trying to do a little bit of catch up. We got home Sunday evening, and so being gone for 4 days kind of put me behind on a little bit of stuff, but I didn't see any questions in there. And but we could do our little giveaway on the patterns. And the prompt that we had, so I'll show you what we're talking about here. We gave away 2 patterns last week, and we're going to give away 2 more this evening. This is the picnic basket sock pattern by KnitChat Knits on Ravelry, who is our friend Darcy, and she's also a podcaster. You can check her out there. And she has written this pattern and graciously gave us a couple to give away. I've made part of the pattern. I've got one sock finished. And I will also admit there's not a lot of knitting that I have to show from this past week, because being away for those days, there was no time to be knitting. I'll tell you that. So this is the first sock that I had finished. I showed this one last week, and this is her pattern. It's a great pattern. I had a lot of,
it's a cute pattern.
I've got the second one cast on, but haven't done anything more than the ribbing. So we asked last week, for the viewers that we have after the fact, if you are interested to win one of the patterns, she's giving us 2 more to give away tonight. And the prompt was to let us know what you would take to a picnic. And I just firstly want to say a huge thank you, because there are so many great ideas in there. Some of you have sent me recipes over the weekend, and I've got a big camping weekend coming up this weekend again, and I have to make some munchies to go along with it. So I'm definitely going to be checking out some of the recipes. And yeah, so we had a lot. And you did the draw, I think, right?
Yep. So we've got our 2 winners. So the first winner is Reknits for me, and she said, beautiful knits, ladies, never miss an episode. I usually take a nice pasta salad to a picnic. So congratulations to Reknits for me. We don't know what your real name is, but congratulations. And I got to admit, I love a good pasta salad. I love pasta. So.
Well, one of our viewers sent me a recipe for an amazing Italian pasta recipe that I definitely want to try. So I will share that one with you as well. Okay.
And then the second winner was Elena Mazarol 5285, and she said she likes to bring fruit kebabs. And fruit kebabs are really nice too, because they're already all cut up, and all you got to do is
pop them out of the
nice that they're all prepared ahead of time, and you don't have to go through and clean all the fruit and cut it all up while you're there. So yeah, so good idea. Okay, so congratulations to both of our winners. So for anybody that was a winner, all you need to do is contact us at knitsandpiecespodcast@gmail.com. We will pass your information along to Darcy. So I do believe she will need your Ravelry name. But yeah, so if you just get in contact with us, we will make sure that that pattern gets out to you.
Yes.
So, and thank you to everybody who left comments and watched the episode. And yeah, just thanks for commenting. And
thanks to Darcy for the pattern too.
Yes, and thanks to Darcy for the pattern. So, okay. So should we move on?
Yes, let's go.
Okay, so we'll move on to, maybe we should do our knit-alongs now, because if we leave it to the end, we forget sometimes.
Okay,
so we've got 2 knit-alongs going on right at the moment, and the first one is our sock knit-along. And actually, this is a good time to talk about it, because by the time we podcast next Tuesday, it will be into September.
Yes,
and we will have drawn to the end of August. So
yes, I will. I will not forget this time.
So for the sock make-along, all you need to do is finish socks. It doesn't matter when you started them. You could have started them 30 years ago. All you have to do is finish them and put them in the finished object make-along. Every month, we draw 2 prizes. One is a pattern prize from our friend Natalie. Kelly, what's Natalie's handle?
Natalie's handle is remembrances_Natalie Sheldon.
Okay. And thank you to Natalie. She's so generous to do that for us and have a pattern available every month. And then we also draw a sock yarn prize. So our goal this year is 5,000 pairs of socks for 2025. And I believe that we're well on the way to doing that.
I believe we are, but I will give you an update next week.
Okay.
And then the next one that we are doing runs all the way through until November 30th, and it is our sweater stash down. So dig into your stashes, get an adult size sweater on your needles, use at least 75% stash yarn. Whips are allowed if they were less than 25% completed at August 1st when we started this make along. So we're giving you a little extra time. Okay, Sarah, thanks.
Sarah said she just posted hers.
She just posted her stocks, and she said there's 3,143 pairs in there right now.
What, Sarah? That's not the number of pairs you made?
Actually, I'm really proud of you, Sarah, for making socks, because Sarah is not a sock knitter usually. So congratulations, Sarah, for getting some socks in there for us. Anyway, so back to the sweater stash down. Dig around in your stash. And I know that we all have sweater quantities in there. So you have until November 30th. That gives you lots of time. And if you can get more than one sweater finished, that's fantastic too. Right. Enter as many sweaters as you can finish before November 30th.
Yes, and I will get that post set up this week. So.
Oh, it's not set up. Okay.
Nope, not yet. Not unless you haven't
been in there. No, I didn't. I haven't been in Ravelry in the last 2 weeks. It's been hectic, but okay. I will get back in there too. All right. And so that's our make along. So just have fun with that, and maybe you'll be a winner. And even if you're not a winner, you'll have a new sweater, and that will make
you'll have yarn out of your stash.
That's right. And you know what? Fall festivals are coming up. So this is a time where we all, want to do a little shopping at these fall festivals. So get in there, and get in there and make a little bit of room in your stash.
Okay. So let's talk about what we're wearing.
Okay. You go ahead first.
Okay. So I am wearing the, can't remember the name of it. It is the Fern Tee by Pernell Larson. And this is done in Knitting for Olive pure silk in the colorway Blood Orange. So this is yarn that I bought when I was in Copenhagen, actually at Knitting for Olive. And I've got a couple of pictures, and I really do like this. And I know some people like the silk, and some people don't. So I really actually liked it. I liked working with it, and I liked wearing it. So I plan to do more with the silk. So anyway, I hope that, and I can't find the pictures. Going looking through this, like literally, I cannot find that link. Oh, I just found it. They've changed some things in StreamYard, and it's confusing me. Anyway, here is a picture of the tee. So it's like sleeves just about down to my elbows. They're finished with an I-cord. The neckband is started with an I-cord, and then you pick up stitches from the I-cord and you work down. It is a very tight pattern gauge. It's like 28 stitches, I believe, but my stitch gauge was good across. My row gauge was a little bit shallower. So I had to actually add a few rows in between some of the repeats because the increases happen in between the eyelets. So I just lengthened when I did the repeats to more match what the row gauge of the pattern was. So altogether, this took 126 grams. The Knitting for Olive pure silk comes in 50 gram skeins. So altogether, like, it's a really nice light top. And I do find that the pure silk is a nice fabric for warmer weather. Like, I do find that it's actually quite cool. And I think probably because it's a very light fingering weight too, because there's 250 meters in a 50 gram ball, I find that it is a very light. And this is like a little bit A-line where it's not so tight around your body. It's
really pretty body. Color too.
So I do really find that it's a nice tee for the warmer weather. So, okay.
And I'm wearing,
that is what I'm wearing.
I'm wearing a much warmer sweater today because it is cold, and I even have socks on today. Actually, my knee. Pull up. These are my, oops, I can't get them in the camera. There we go. My Get Shorty socks by Irene. So
nice.
I've got my socks on already today because it is cold in here. And the sweater I'm wearing is my Deep Dean sweater by Beth McDonald Stone. And I've got a label here for it. There we go. This was a test knit that I did, and this is maybe one of my most loved sweaters. This is a great sweater too for summer because it's so light, and it has, let me see, I've got a couple of pictures in here too. So it's just like a great sweatshirty style sweater. I made the size 2, and I used the Estelle yarn Eco Tweed DK, and that is a yarn. It has just, in my opinion, just the right amount of little neps in for a tweed and nothing that I feel like I need to pick out while I'm knitting. And also it's 50% wool, 25% alpaca, and 25% tencel, which is a tree fiber. But this is so breathable. Like, I never feel like, I can't believe there's alpaca in it, to be honest, because I always find alpaca feels warmer, but this sweater, it feels more cottony than it does alpaca. And it's, like I said, it's got a little bit of a split hem. The pattern is all over the sweater, so it really holds your interest to knit. And I keep saying that I want to get more of this yarn and make another sweater. It's very cost effective. It took only 2.7 skeins. They're 100-gram balls for this yarn. And I really like this sweater. And I have been tempted. When I originally bought that Elise yarn that I ended up making my staff and tee, when I was pondering it, I was thinking about making another Deep Dean just because I love the sweater so much and I wear it a lot. But having thought that, I do have that lavender Elise now. Maybe I would revisit this pattern because I do really, really like it.
Do you have enough to do long sleeves?
I think I'm trying to remember how many skeins of that I bought. I think I do. I'll have to relook at that. But if not, I know I've got something else in stash that would work. But yes, it would be nice to have it as a long sleeve as well, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice to have some lighter long sleeve ones that are good for this time of year, that are not too heavy for winter. And I mean, no matter what you knit it in, short sleeve kind of limits how often you can wear it, right? So
yeah.
Okay, so that is what we are wearing. Do you have any finished objects?
I do. I have one.
Okay, I have one too. You go first.
Okay.
I went first on the what to wear.
Alrighty. So I finished my remember that Christmas in July make along that we did? Well, I finally finished it. And I'm saying he would have been finished if it had not been for the fact that I ran out of materials. So this is from a book called 15 Easy Amigurumi Patterns Crochet Gnomes. And it is by Maria Ermolova. And this book, the idea was popped into my head from my friend Darlene out west. And she had made, I believe she had made the little Santa gnome. I have a picture of all of the gnomes just in the front page here, I thought. Maybe not. So I think she made the little Santa gnome, and they're very cute. But I also didn't realize, there's a little Santa gnome, super cute. But I also didn't realize how big these guys are. Like I've only made one gnome before this, and it was the Sarah Shira, the little gnomes, the Nana gnomes. And, they're tiny. They're not that big. These guys are pretty big.
They don't look that big on the front cover.
They don't look that big on the cover, but I've been referring to him. So I decided to make the reindeer gnome, and I've been referring to him as my little bowling pin gnome because he's quite big.
He is big. It's cute though.
He's super cute. He is so cute. So you could definitely use him as a doorstop. And I forget who it was. Was it Julia? Somebody was saying I could make them all, line them up as bowling pins, and you could actually bowl with them. But he's super, super cute. So I made him using these. I've got one here. So these are the Rikarumi DK cotton balls. It's hard. They're cotton, and it's hard to get this in because it's like a holographic label. But they're only 25-gram balls. And in my mind, one of every color was going to make these little gnomes. No. So I had to go, and then I was away traveling, and I didn't get to take him. And then I've been away other weekends, but I didn't want to take him because he's kind of big to take. Like I had the body all done on him. So it's just the tiny little details. But the devil is in the details for sure, because those are the most time-consuming parts of him. But anyway, he is now done. I still have colors to make the snowman gnome, because that was my intention as well. And he's also on the cover. And I did have a banner, which I haven't been putting up. I should have, just so you can get some spelling. So he is and this is crochet too. I might have said I was knitting on him, but I definitely wasn't. I was crocheting on him, and I've been using a 2.5 millimeter needle to crochet it. So it was a little bit tricky to kind of wrap my head around. Yes, because although the cotton is very soft, you can see that this is a really tight stitch definition, and she has you do your single crochets in such a way to get this extra tight definition, which is awesome, so that none of your stuffing shows through when you're putting him together. But it just was a little bit of a learning curve on my hands, and would have gone easier had I had that hook for the entire time. These are my favorite hooks to use, by the way. These are the Clover Soft Touch. So when I crochet with my thumb in that indent. So that holds everything really well in place for me. But I was working on him when I was on my travels out east, and I didn't have a 2.5. So the only 2.5 that I could find was the more traditional one. And I find that there's not, like, because the 2.5 is kind of a narrow hook, it's a small hook, that is just not quite enough for my thumb to hold it. So I found that the needle or the hook was wanting to spin in my hands a little bit. So it took me a little while to get comfortable with, it took me a little while to get comfortable with what I was doing. And so then once I got the soft touch, I find things have gone a lot smoother. And I like this larger handle to hold in my hand. So it appears that Noelle has left the building, friends, but I'm sure she will be back. She's probably going to try to reconnect. And of course, I was at the end of talking about my finished objects. So not sure what else I can talk about, but I can maybe show you some of the other pictures in here. So you do get 15 patterns. She recommends using a yarn that I'd not heard of before. It is actually called the Art Yarns Yarn Art Jeans. And so that's not something that I'm familiar with, but I should have clued in. I didn't look at the book before I started buying colors. Like for this one alone, the basic Christmas gnome, the main color you need 40 grams of. So that mistake was all on me. But anyway, highly recommend this. Her patterns are very, very well written, and they're just a lot of fun. So there you go.
Lillian wanted, do you know remember where you got the book?
I ordered it on Amazon. Yes.
Okay. Okay, so my finished object is A Simple Affair by Sonder Yarn Co. And I'll just show you a picture of what it looks like. So in the pattern in Sonder Yarn Co., it comes in two sizes. One of the sizes, she uses a lace weight yarn held with a mohair, and in the other one, she uses a sock weight yarn held with a mohair. So for the sample that I'm doing for Leo and Roxy, they chose their 80-20 sock yarn, which is then 80% merino, 20% nylon, and then their silk mohair. And the colorway is called Wishing for Blue Skies. So it is finished, and it is big.
It looks so cozy, though. So cozy. It
feels so good. And I absolutely loved making this. And it's a really nice, like for a triangle shawl, if you put it on, you've still got like lots of just to like throw these over your shoulders. Like it's got
big wings. Yes.
Yeah, big wings. It's got a really nice finished edge on it. Let me see if I can hold it up there. So the edge it's twisted rib. So when you got to that and had to do it, it's like all the knits are twisted, but because you're knitting back and forth, every other row you have to twist the purls. And then it's just kind of got a rolled edge on it. I did alternate skeins because there's two skeins of each, the mohair and the sock yarn. Mm-hmm. And then I just alternated them at the spine. Rather than doing it on the edge, I just alternated them at the spine. And when I held up the two yarns together, there was a difference. So I really do think you would have seen a difference if I hadn't have alternated. And then there's these rows of eyelets every so often that show up really nicely. And this was just, I haven't knit a shawl for a long time. And it just makes me remember.
Want to knit one again. I know.
How much I love knitting shawls. Like I really do like knitting shawls. So I might have to knit one of these for me. Maybe we'll see. It was a lot of fun to knit. So I believe that they'll have this in Kitchener.
I would imagine so. Yeah. And that's on the 13th, right? Yes.
Yeah.
Kitchener's the 13th. Yeah.
Yeah. That whatever that Saturday, it's Saturday, I think, whatever that Saturday is. So yeah. So, and again, it's a free pattern. It's a beautiful pattern, really well written, super easy. Definitely could be your coffee shop knit. And it's so easy to count the rows because you're just counting your garter stitch ridges. And for some reason, I don't like doing garter stitch when it's back and forth with a single yarn, but when it's with a mohair and a fingering held together, I really like it. Super easy. And
What
like I
size
said,
needles did you use? That's larger needles. What size needles?
5mm.
5. Okay.
So not super big.
No.
Like I hate when I get up into the set where I have to go and use different size cords on my Chai Goose. So everything up to the 5 is good. When you get past that and little, I don't know.
That's right.
Yeah, it's I must say the Leo and Roxy mohair is one of my favorite mohairs.
Yes.
It's
Agreed.
so soft.
So soft. Yeah.
Yep. So yeah, so that's my finished object. So need to drop that off. Okay. Do you have any other finished objects?
Nope.
Okay. Do you have any whips? How many whips do you have?
3 that I worked on this week.
Okay. I have 5.
Okay. Get going.
Okay. So my first whip is my elderflower wine socks by Ku'ua Coffee. And I do have a picture. So this is my August pair. So we're only at August 26th.
Yes.
So we still got how many days? 5 days left?
Yes.
Okay. But I do have the first sock is finished. So there we are. It's a really nice pattern on the socks. This is a free pattern. All of these patterns that I'm doing by Ku'ua Coffee are all free patterns. So this one is done in Firefly Haven Maple Sock, and that is Pam, who works at Little Red Mitten. But I believe she is also going to be at Kitchener in the new one upcoming or something.
Okay.
So this is her 80/20 sock, and I believe this color was called like Lavender Fields. And the pattern,
it's beautiful.
I love the pattern. I love the sock yarn. The pattern's got these little, they weren't Estonian buttons because I looked at how the Estonian button was done and it's not the same. These are like little wrap stitches.
Okay. Yeah.
So, but really, I don't know. And the pattern's relatively easy. I did keep it open on Knit Companion, but it is relatively easy. They're definitely easier than the last socks that I did. And yeah, so again, it is 72 stitches around, even though it's just a sock for like a lady, but then the sole is decreased to 32 when you get down here. So that makes that part go a little bit faster when you're not doing the pattern all the way around. So we'll see. We'll see if I get those finished by the end of August. I have 5 days.
You do? How far are you on the second one?
It's not cast on yet.
Oh, oh yeah, you've got 5 days.
Okay, go ahead.
All right. So I worked a little bit on these on the car ride. So these are the socks that I'm making for Mike. They are the Nord socks by Nancy Wheeler. And this is using yarn from Deborah, who is Yarn Indulgences. So I'm not too far away from the toe, but it's such a great pattern. I will admit I hadn't worked on these in a long time. So when I picked them up, I looked at it and I'm like, oh, what was I doing? I have no idea how to do this little stitch. So I did have to open my pattern back up and look at it and go, oh, okay, now I get it. Yeah, it's a great pattern, but it has, I'll just show you this fun little stitch. It's almost like a braid. I really, really like it. I feel like I'm going to need a pair for myself after this too. But, and then she even has like a nice detail going down the back as well, which I don't know how much Mike is going to appreciate a little back detail on his socks. But anyway, this is a gorgeous colorway. I'm telling you, I am in love with Deborah's yarn for sock yarn. And this is her Stomp sock base. And I was just wondering if I had the ball band, but I do not. I believe it is an 80/20, but friends, this is like a plush 80/20. It's really beautiful. And yeah, that's what I have to say. I've got to get these done. Getting cooler now. So for camping, he could definitely be wearing his hand knit socks, but I really like them. Really like them. So maybe I'll get something done on that this weekend. Okay.
Okay. So my next project is the Wilfreda by Venka Rolled. So this is another sample knit for Leo and Roxy. And that is what this pattern looks like. I have made it. I made it in black, which I like it, but I don't wear black all that often. And the black color does make that design up at the top more difficult to see. And it's a beautiful pattern up at the top of the sweater. So I am doing it again in Leo and Roxy Okay, so there's my yarns. There are 4 of them that I'm working because I'm alternating skeins. So it is their 80/20 sock and their silk mohair, and this colorway is called Lava Lamp. And I have gotten to the point where I have divided. I've got the armholes separated, and let me just hold it up here so you can see the braid. But the braid is just, it's so much fun to do. And yeah, it looks so nice in this, I call it a melon color. It's more like a melon color, but Lava Lamp. So I've gotten to the point where I've got the sleeves on their cords now. I am doing helical knitting now, but what I did before, I actually did the neckband down to where this first little textured stitch is, and then I started alternating every row at the back of the sweater because it was a texture break, so I could do that. And then once I got down under that to this part, now I'm doing actual helical knitting where you drop 3 stitches before your yarn and then go around. These colors do look very similar, but I don't want to take a chance on seeing a big difference. So yeah, so I'm really super enjoying it. Again, this is on a 5mm needle. I believe that the pattern might actually call for a 6mm needle, but
I think so. But I think I went down a size as well. In it,
I'm getting engaged with the 5. And I know that with mohair and silk, I tend to knit looser. I think just to keep it sliding on my needles, I tend to knit looser. So I am down on a 5. The neckband was done on a 4. I did do the alternating cable cast on the neckline. It is a twisted rib that is called for in the pattern. And yeah, so now it's just, the body is just straight down. There's a bit of a curved hem on the bottom of it. So now it's just round and round in the in the body. So yeah, so great pattern.
It is. It's a great pattern. And I know I used the Leo and Roxy mohair when I knit mine. I held mine with the Holst Super Soft. And so I definitely didn't use helical because the mohair is was colored, like it's multiple, or what's the word, variegated. So no, I didn't get any pooling in the mohair. But Tanis is asking, when you're pairing a hand-dyed yarn with mohair, is alternating skein still required? Does the mohair help avoid the pooling? It definitely helps it, but if it's highly variegated, it would still show.
I would still alternate. It's just not worth it getting to the end and then see. I can't stand when you see that line. I mean, I know some people say it's fine. And if it's fine for you, that's fine. For me, I can't live with that. It has to look cohesive. So, and this is a sample knit, so obviously I don't want it to have that pooled line in it. So what I usually try to do is, if there's a texture, I will change at the texture break. And then helical knitting is actually quite easy. The biggest problem is managing your balls of yarn. It's not the actual knitting of it. But if you're sitting on your couch, you can kind of move them. Like I've gotten in a rhythm where I can kind of move them and they don't ever really get twisted. So, but yeah, it's like I said, their mohair is so soft. It's just a pleasure to knit with. So
it is. It really is. It's beautiful.
Yeah. And that color is so vibrant and happy.
It is. It's a gorgeous color. And I love that sweater. I love my sweater. So I have to show this comment. Baja Queen is a truck driver, an 18-wheel truck driver, and she has pulled her rig over to watch a bit. So that's some dedication to the Knit Chat Cafe friends. So we appreciate you for sure.
Well, I hope she has some knitting so that she can still be knitting.
I hope you have knitting to sit there. Yes, exactly. Exactly.
So, okay.
Oh, up to me. Me. Okay. I forgot what we were doing. I was thinking about the truck on the side of the road. She got her knitting out. I'm just thinking she's probably sitting there all chill, enjoying herself. Okay, so let's go back a few weeks. And I took it, I pulled it apart. But if you will remember, I had an idea to knit these socks. This is a Zower ball. Is that what it is? I don't even have the ball band in here, but yes, it's a Zower ball. And
okay, I just got to put this up there first. She says she's knitting the Corin cardigan. So yes, she does have her knitting.
Yay! Excellent. Excellent. Okay.
That's amazing.
So I had started these socks toe up on 2 16-inch needles. And I don't know what the hey. We had a lengthy conversation about how wide they were coming out. 64 stitches, double checked my count. They were just obscenely wide. And some people said, give them to Mike, but no, I was selfish and I want to keep them for myself. So I took them out and I restarted them. And I decided to do a cuff down this time, back to my trusty 9-inch circulars. And friends, I don't know, it's working. So here's what I have to show you. So look, they fit now. They're so cute. They're so cute.
They are cute.
So I have some ideas. So I'm calling these my camping socks because I have put trees up here in them. And then I have another little detail that I've got planned for down here, coming up to the toe, that I'm just about getting ready to start thinking about down here. So I'll save that as a surprise for next week when I get them finished, because it's not another tree. It's something different. But I'm loving these. I mean, I knew I was, oh, I've got some fuzz there. I knew I was going to love them. I just couldn't figure out why it wasn't working. But on these 9mm or on the 9-inch, it works just fine. They fit me. They're good. I did go up to a 2.5 here to do the color work, only because I want to make sure that goes over my instep to get them on over my foot. So what I did, and there's this is not a pattern. This is just kind of coming up with this on my own. So I knew that I wanted the stripe to go all the way up into the cuff. So that's what I've actually done. So normally I do 15 rows in my cuff. So I did 5 rows of each color, and I knit the first row every time I changed a color so that you don't see my little purl bumps in the knitting. And then I just got started in on stockinette. And then I've just added in this little tree pattern from here. And then I'm just alternating the skeins, doing 4 rows each color. And I did a shadow wrap heel just wherever the skein left me. And strangely enough, it ended, I don't know why, but it almost looks like I changed something there, but I did not. It's just the way it's striped. And I set it up so that the stripe goes, it's almost like a saddle stripe. The heel is going into one stripe. And then I'm just going to carry on. And the toe will end up in the Zauberball yarn as well. But I'm really loving the way they feel. And the white or the, excuse me, this yarn is yarn that was gifted to us from Elite Spun. And this is their 80/20 sock yarn undyed. And it's really lovely to knit with. It's also, I would call it a plump fingering. It's very, very nice. And then these are some of the colors that I have coming up in the rest of the sock. So something that Noelle and I were talking about before the show is, she said, will I be able to find the repeat in here to match the second sock? I'm thinking no, but I've also never used these. And maybe somebody who has used these can tell me, do they ever repeat the color in here anyway, or do they stay on a random path throughout the ball? So just sort of wondering if anybody knows the answer to that. It doesn't look to me like there's colors in there that I haven't gotten to use yet. So I feel like the answer is it's not going to repeat it. And Kellen is asking, am I carrying it? Yes, I am. So what I do is, excuse me, on the 4th row of every color, I do a little, like I catch my yarn. So I'm carrying it up the side, and I can show you inside where I'm doing that. Right there. So I am just doing 1 carry up the side. So I will have no ends to weave in at the end. And the other thing that I'm doing too is I'm doing the little adjustment on each color for the jogless join so that I get the stripes pretty flat. Okay. So keep you posted. But yeah, let me know if anybody knows. Okay, Marissa's saying they do repeat, but it's a really long sequence. Okay. I don't know if I'm going to dig in there or not. I might try to convince myself that I can have them mismatched. I'll see. My idea was that they would not match, but we all know how I feel about that. So I'll see what I can live with. There's probably enough to do a second pair, even if I were to dig in there. and go looking for the second sequence. I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
Okay, I just want to say that Baja Queen is only 5 foot tall, so yes, for short people, we can do anything. I think that's amazing. I don't mean, I'd have a hard time climbing up in the truck is all I can say. So, and Isabel asked where I got the holographic sticker of the knitting loft. It's not the knitting loft. This says knitting and coffee. This was a sticker that Julia got for all of us.
Yes.
I think it was at Christmas or something. I just stuck it on my mug here. So it does kind of look like the Knitting Loft's logo.
It does. Yes, it does, for sure.
Anyway. Okay. So on to my next work in progress. So I know I saw
one second.
Oh, okay.
1 second. I just want to go back to this comment before I lose it. Christine says, thank you for the idea of spraying the garment and hanging it with a weight to lengthen it after blocking. It's a miracle her ranunculus is now the proper length again. Well, that's great. It wasn't my idea. It came from Julia. So I have Julia to thank for that, because I actually wore my Riptide last week and it fits great now that I hung it to lengthen it out again. So, okay.
Okay, so I know earlier in that when people were chatting before we started, some people said they were doing a test knit for Jennifer Shields Toland, and she's got a new pattern out called the Riptide Shore Leave. But before that one comes out, she's also got another smaller project, and it is called the Riptide Scarfette by Jennifer Shields Toland. And I do have a little picture of Jennifer's in progress. So it's one of the little scarves, very similar to the Sophie scarf. It's in test knit right now. She does have a slightly wider version that's a little bit longer, and then a shorter one that's a little bit narrower. So I am testing that, and I've actually got a couple of versions. So this is actually the second one I cast on, not the first one, but there's just kind of what it looks like. So this one I'm actually doing this is Lang Yarn's Noelle, which is yarn that I got at the mini meetup that someone had put on the put and take table. But this is actually a fingering weight yarn. I believe it's 80% merino, 20% something else. I can't remember what it was, but it's kind of like, it's almost like a little bit of a chainette construction, and it is quite light. This is only a 25-gram ball, and by itself, it was a little too flimsy. So then I went and picked out, I had this little bit of leftover mohair. This is Zambezi by Fleece Artists, which they no longer make, but this is called the colorway Bottle Green, and they don't look that similar together, but when you pair it with this, it just kind of tones down the brightness of the really bright aqua color. So I'm really liking the color of it. So, and this little pattern is really cute. It's, you've got rib detail in the middle. So you've got your little riptides going down each side, but even when you turn it on the back, even the back of it still looks pretty. Even though your little riptides are inversed, you've still got that knit one, purl one rib that still looks like your right side. So I think this is going to be a really good scarf in the fact of whichever way you turn it, or however you tie it, it's still going to look nice hanging down. And I don't believe that it's going to take a whole lot of yarn to do it. I believe that it calls for a DK weight yarn. So I'm getting that with those two yarns held together, and I'm on a size 4mm needle.
Nice. So, that's pretty. It's such a pretty little scarf too.
And then that was my second version. This is the first one that I started, which I will continue on this too, but I really like this one too. So this one I've got a little bit more done on. And you can
very nice.
The pattern there. That. But this is the Louie and Lola merino silk yak, and this just feels like absolutely amazing. And this is the Grocery Girls colorway that they did with Louie and Lola for one of their Do It for the Girls or whatever, one of the special things that they have. So this is a DK weight yarn. I can't remember what the color is called. One of them was called Stronger Together, but I don't think that's what this one is. I think this is the other color, but it's this really pretty taupey color that's got hints of this like maroon and gold and a green, and it's just really super pretty. And it's like
so pretty.
The color seems to be allotted in it very well. Like it seems to be quite even in the coloring of it, and it feels amazing. And definitely from one of these, you will easily get 2 of these little scarves out of it. So I'm going to make a few of them and just have them kind of in the gift pile because it makes a really nice little gift. And this yarn is just so squishy and nice. And again, Jennifer's pattern's a great pattern. So, okay.
Okay. So the next thing that I worked on, I showed you last week that I had cast on the Checker Plate Tee by Lily Kate France. And I'm using the Sonder yarn, Fleece and Flax, in the color Radio Flyer, which I love. Love this color.
It's a gorgeous color.
And so I did get quite a bit more done on it because last week I had 10 rows. I had cast it on that day. So I could just show you. And it was such a clever cast on. I don't want to give any of the details away, so I can't talk about that. But I will just say I've never cast on a sweater in that manner and then joined it in the way that she has you do it. And I just think it's amazingly clever. And now that I've done it, I'm like, oh, that's so smart. It's so smart. So I've gotten this much further. So you have to pick up stitches to put the neck in, but it's on hold because I didn't gauge swatch, friends. I thought I knew what I was doing. And after I got looking at it, I'll show you this. Like, this is one of the sleeves, so I can show you the stitch pattern. So it is coming right along. But I got thinking as I was doing this, maybe it's big enough now that I should sort of measure it. So I measured it, and this is going to come out quite large. So I'm obviously not getting gauge or really anywhere near it. I think I'm 2.5 stitches over gauge, which is going to be quite a bit. So I'm going to put this on a try-on cord just in case. You know, sometimes it's hard to measure something like this that hasn't been blocked. So I'm going to put it on a try-on cord. I'm actually going to block this piece here, and then I'm going to remeasure. And if it's still the same, well, that's too big. It's going to be too big.
I when I blocked that yarn, it doesn't shrink.
So exactly, that's what I'm thinking. If anything, it's just going to get bigger, right?
Well, because the lace is going to open up too.
That's right. So there's maybe not even any point to blocking it, but
I don't know. I'd still try it. Like you've already done that. Like, what have you got to lose if you block it and try it? Just and especially when you try it on rather than just measuring it.
Well, there's not really. See, what I was going to do.
You can really try on.
Not really. I mean, because I still have to pick up for the neck stitches, but even the neck to me seems really large now that it's all together. So like I said, I'm going to block it anyway, and I would have done that today, but I didn't want to do that today and then not be able to talk about it tonight. So I will block it out probably tomorrow or maybe this evening, and then I will reassess. But I have a feeling that. And then I even got thinking, oh, could I sort of ignore this part and just switch down to a different needle at this point? But I don't think I can.
But that's your neck. You don't want your.
No, it's too significant a part of the sweater, because we all know how much I really dislike doing things over. And I mean, yes, it's a super clever way to cast on the sweater, but that doesn't mean I want to do it twice for the same sweater. But I actually think I'm going to have to. I thought, and you know what, even on the ball band is the exact gauge that the pattern calls for on the same size needles. So I think it's a me thing. I think I do lace a little bit looser. And
what size needles are you using?
It's a 3.25, which is what the pattern calls for.
Oh, okay. So
I think, I don't even know that I could get it by going down to a 3. So I've got to play around with this pattern. I may have to swatch.
What is the gauge of the pattern?
I can't remember right now. Hold on 1 minute. I can pull it up and look. I have it here really quickly. The gauge is 25.5 stitches.
Okay.
On a 3.25. So, and I think I'm getting like 28 stitches. Is that right?
That means you're no. That would mean you're smaller.
Sorry. I'm not getting it.
If you're getting 28 stitches, that's smaller.
Right. No. So it's going the other way. It's going to be way too, this was all before I went away last weekend. This is what I found out right before I went away. So I don't even remember the numbers, but I knew that it was going to end up being quite a bit bigger. Yes. Okay. I know what it was. 25.5 stitches got me to like 4.5 inches. So that means for every 4 inches, I'm gaining a half inch on the sweater, and it was making it too big. So I've got to adjust something. And I don't even know if going down to a size 3 needle is going to be enough, but you never know, right? It's, I don't feel that I'm doing this loose. Like it feels fairly snug on the needles. But as I said, the ball band, if you look up on the ball band, it does say 28 stitches on a 2.25 to a 3.25. So don't know what I'm doing wrong here.
But that is a yarn that can be knit at a lot of different gauges, because
I think so, because
I did the lacy loop tee, and it's like, actually, I think it's 22 stitches. It's either 20 or 22 stitches. And I believe I used a 4mm needle for that.
Yes. So I definitely have to reevaluate the situation, and I certainly couldn't do it on the road or this past weekend. So that's a tomorrow project, but I still want to make this. So like I've got to, Sharon says I could cast it on in another yarn, but no, I want this yarn, Sharon. Yes.
Well, it'll be a matter of if you can get your gauge to match with that yarn, or you could do a smaller size.
I could do a smaller size. And crazily enough too, I think I'm doing a size 4, and for the first 4 sizes, you cast on the same number of stitches. No, that's not right either. The first 3 sizes, you cast on the same number of stitches, and size 4 is where the stitch count went up. So had I been doing the smaller size, it would probably work out fine. I really think I need to do a gauge swatch. Like, in all honesty, at this point, I think I probably have to, and try it on the size 3 needle, if that will do it. If not, okay, that's the other thing too. The other part that I want to block this for is because if I am happy with the way it looks blocked, then I may.
Then you want, that's right.
I'll just stay at this.
You have to adjust the size.
And then I will just adjust the size accordingly.
Yep.
So that's the other reason that I want to block it. But I really like it. Like, even from a distance, look at how good that looks. It really does look good. So, I mean, I'm happy with it. And I do know also that the yarn is going to fill in a little bit when it blocks too. So that's why I don't really know if I want to go any denser with the fabric. Maybe I'm just really happy with this fabric and I have to adjust it accordingly. So I'll reevaluate and check back in next week with you. Okay.
Okay. So my next work in progress is the Alcott by Mary Henderson, and it is a colorwork vest. So I got that started this week, and this is what I have done. And I absolutely love it. Love it.
Look at all that ribbing. So pretty.
It's a lot of corrugated ribbing, but it's pretty. Corrugated ribbing is pretty. It
is so pretty.
Not the most fun thing in the world to
do,
it's
not.
It does look very pretty. So, and the variegated ribbing or the corrugated ribbing also does not come in as much as the regular ribbing, because you're kind of stretched out, because you're doing you're carrying the color behind all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So what I did, because when I do colorwork knitting, I always hold one in my left hand, one in my right hand. So I carry my dominant color, or the color that I really want to show through, I carry in my left hand. So when I was doing down at the bottom, because all of the cream colors are purl stitches, I did not carry that as my dominant. No, yes, I did carry that as my dominant, simply because I wanted to hold it in my right hand and do a regular purl stitch. And then I could use this hand, because it's much easier to do a knit stitch continental than it is to do a purl stitch continental.
Yes.
So it made the ribbing a little bit easier. And then when you get into the body, I find it a lot easier. This is only 2 stitches per row. It's actually quite easy color work, because at least so far, I think that the motifs that I get in after this are a little bit longer, but these are only so far 6-stitch motifs. So you never have to worry about catching your floats or catching the yarn. And I believe in the rest of it, it's the same way. So I will have a few ends to sew in. but
Yeah,
that's okay. I'm gonna stop maybe in a couple of inches and do some of the ends.
Yeah.
So the yarn that I'm using for this is Jamieson and Smith. They're 2-ply jumper weight. So the main color is just their white or their cream, and then these are the colors. They just have color numbers or names. So this is color 125, and it's called Copper. And this one is, I put all these in here so that I could remember, but I've got the colors down now. This is just 141 Green. Then there's this one, which I believe is FC6. It's a mix. It's like a pink. This one's got a little bit more variegation in it. Yeah.
So pretty.
And then this one is more like a teal blue. So you can see there is a difference between the two, but very slight, but it makes a difference in your overall, almost makes the yarn look variegated. And then this one is Salmon. And then this last one here was another mix, but it's almost like a wheat or a gold color. And I think this color just makes it pop. Like I just love that pop of the yellow in it. And then there's more yellow to come. And I have to say, color work has to be my favorite type of knitting. I just don't want to put it down. Again, my Florence sweater is sitting because the color work's all done on it, and I've got plain stockinette stitches to do. And I know Isabel said last week, she said, could I get someone to do the stockinette part? And I just want to know, Isabel, are you volunteering? But anyway, absolutely, really loving doing this. So, and it will be when I get up to here, it is steeked. So I will cast on steek stitches. So there shouldn't really be any going back and forth in the color work. And the only thing that I might do, I'm going to pop up the picture again. The only thing that I might do, I saw a version of it on Ravelry where the person had changed the V-neck into a round neck. And I think I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to bring it up higher to like a crew round neck, because I think I will wear it more if it's like that. Because I don't know. I just think I would wear it more. And I really liked how that especially that motif, that's kind of the motif I'm coming up to next. I would really prefer that not be interrupted. So I think that is what I'm going to do. So, and this is the first time I've worked with Spindrift before, but only on a small project. This is the first time I've worked with Jamieson and Smith, and I absolutely love it. Like I love it. So there will be more. And that bottom part, it's not been blocked or anything. I just kind of gave it a little steam with the iron just to make the ribbing lie flat. And I can already tell that the transformation is going to be amazing when I block it. Now, did you have any other whips?
Nope.
Okay. I just want to go back to one thing on my Riptide Scarfette. Okay. So I was knitting on this one and I got a little bit past, and it's got this beautiful slip stitch edge on it, which Beth does with all of her projects. Yes. And I had dropped a stitch on the edge.
Oh no.
It's like, oh no, edge stitch. And I thought, I'm going to fix this. I am going to figure out how to fix this. So I didn't actually go back and look at anything, but I kind of remembered seeing something where someone had showed how to fix your edge stitches. So I just want to show you this photo. So here is, and this one's a little bit different in the fact that this one doesn't have a slip stitch edge, but it doesn't matter. If you're pulling out that last stitch on the edge, you can see those double loops that they've got kind of spread out with those crochet hooks. Yeah. So every edge stitch kind of has a loop, which is indicative of 2 stitches.
Okay.
So, not 2 stitches, 2 rows. So if I was taking that stitch that she's got on her crochet hook and going up, I'd have to, in this case, because it's garter stitch, I'd have to do an alternate knit purl, but each of those loops is going to be the bottom of the loop is a stitch and the top of the loop is a stitch. So when I did mine and I pulled out those loops, I didn't actually have to do that because every other row was a slip stitch. Right. So I really only had to go in and pick up one part of each of those loops to bring it back up. And you cannot tell at all. And I don't know how many times I've screwed up things on the edge and I'm going to pull back because I can't stand to look at it. I know. But if you understand that anatomy of it, the anatomy of that edge stitch and how it goes, it's a lot easier to go back and fix it. So this was on I looked up and there was a tutorial and it actually went through and it told you how to fix it if it was garter stitch, if it was stocking stitch, or if it was a slip stitch. So I will link that tutorial in the show notes.
Sure. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I thought that was very valuable information to learn. So in fact, so much so that I even wanted to pull it out and see if I could do it again, but I stopped myself. So, but anyway. Okay.
There were a couple of other things that popped up through here.
Okay.
Do I, or will I feel the yarn that I'm carrying up the rows when I wear those socks? Absolutely not. I oftentimes in socks, I will carry those yarns up the side instead of having ends to weave in, because I don't generally weave in the ends anyway. I will try to do them, like weave them in before I start them and then finish them off. But if I can carry them up the side, I often do, just because I don't know, I just find that easier to do. So I will not feel them for sure. And this one here, wanting to know, does anybody know a reverse stockinette pattern for a sensitive foot? I do not.
I would say you could just do a regular sock and just turn it inside out. And make sure you weave all your ends in on the other side.
Yeah.
And then your inside of your sock is going to be all stockinette, because you can still start off with your regular rib at the start of the cuff. And then what some people do is just when you get to those sole stitches, just do the needles of the sole stitch in reverse stockinette. So you would be purling across them if you're going in the round, as opposed to knitting across them. So you could still keep the top of your foot in the plain stockinette, but you could do the bottom in reverse stockinette. So I don't think you have to have an actual pattern for it. And if it is just the sole of the foot that's sensitive, you really only need to have that part on the sole of the foot. So,
true enough. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And I saw somebody in here too. Oh, Amy says, did you, oops.
Oh, I must have, when I was talking about slipping the edges, I might've said it was best pattern for this. It's not. This is Jennifer's.
Did you see that there is now a Florence hat? Yeah. I haven't seen that yet. I'm sure too, like you probably have leftover, right? From your color work. So yeah, definitely room for a hat.
Yep. So.
Okay. Oh, and here we go. So Sharon says it is called a princess foot, and there are patterns for them on Ravelry. So there you go. All right.
Did you buy anything? Did you buy anything this week?
No.
I didn't buy anything, but I did get some things.
Okay.
So the first thing is, and I have to thank, I know Leanne was in here earlier, but she said she had an early call tomorrow, so she was gone. But she got in touch with me and said she's moving and they're downsizing. So she went through and she actually had the hard copy of this book and asked if I would like her to send it to me. And I love Fair Isle, so of course.
Yes.
And seeing these patterns like up in the book and in color, they're absolutely gorgeous. Like I want to knit just about everything in this book. So thank you, Leanne. I will definitely be going through this and looking for some more patterns to knit. And yeah, I could knit, if I only could knit one thing, that's what it would be. It would be color work. So thank you to Leanne for that. And then this past week, I had said earlier that I had Molly and Isla. Well, that was because my son and my daughter-in-law were in Scotland, and they actually spent a few days in Edinburgh. So Rachel was so sweet. She actually went to Ginger Twist Studios. So here's just a little picture here. She's got a picture of all the yarn and the way it was hanging on the wall, and the nice the nice sign and the aqua storefront. So she popped in there, and this is one of the things that they brought back. This is Ginger's hand-dyed Masham Mayhem 4-ply. And this is a yarn that I've actually worked with, that I was able to pick up last year at the Perfect Blend, and absolutely loved working with it.
Pretty.
So this colorway is called Selkie. Just a beautiful teal color. And then she had asked me before she went if there was anything in particular that she wanted me to look for. And I'd always heard about the Kinross 4-ply. Really wanted to try it.
Yeah.
So I got a sweater quantity of this. and it's
so
absolutely
pretty.
Gorgeous. So this is the Kinross 4-ply, which is a yarn by We Country Yarns. And this is 224 yards and 50 grams. It's 100% superfine lamb's wool. And this colorway is called Highland Cow. So, and this, I think that I am going to make the one you just did with all the texture.
Oh, the Staffen.
Yeah, the Staffen light, but in the 4-ply, because the weight in the 4-ply is 28 stitches. That is what I will be able to get with this yarn, and I have enough yarn. I will do a long sleeve version of it.
Yes,
so I think that will look beautiful, and the texture will show up really nice in that yarn. So thank you to my son and daughter-in-law, Curtis and Rachel. You didn't have to bring me anything back because I enjoyed my time with the girls, but it will be put to good use. So
yeah, absolutely.
Oh, Stacy's saying, what is Masham? It's a sheep breed. It's a lot of the times it's a darker color. So a lot of the yarns that get dyed on those bases just have kind of like these moody undertones to it. Like Sonder Yarns dyes some of theirs on a BFL Masham, and so does Les Garçons. So, and it does make for a beautiful, and BFL's got to be one of my favorite yarns to start with and to knit with.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, that's it for me.
Okay, yeah, that's it for me too. Yeah.
So, okay, well, got a lot of stuff to put away here. A lot more knitting to get on the needles. Oh, there's lots of sales going on. People have mentioned.
Okay, Elite Spun is having a 15% Labor Day sale. That apply to their mohair too? They have great mohair.
Yeah.
If you're looking for that undyed mohair, having your stash, it's a great time to stock up.
So yeah, and if anybody's even interested in trying any kind of dyeing, they really do have nice bare yarns and really well priced. So
there is a sale coming up too.
The Knitting Loft.
Is that public, or was it for their newsletter subscribers?
I don't think, no, there was one that was newsletter subscribers, but I don't think this one is.
Okay,
this one
so
is.
then I guess we can talk about it. So friends, it's going to be 25% off. Yes. So you want to get in on that one too. And I don't know the dates, but go to their website and check it out, or get on their newsletter, because if you're not on their newsletter, you should be on the Knitting Loft's newsletter, because there's all kinds of goodies that come out that are available to you too. So, and then, so at the end of this week, or where are we at? We're at the 26th. We have a few days left. So before next week, get your socks in. We will be doing the draw for that at the end of the month. And kids are getting ready to go back to school in Canada.
I cannot believe
the States,
that summer is almost over. I can't believe
already.
It. Like, how did it go by that fast?
Yes. Yeah.
So
I know. I'll be going back to work. I'm going back to the fair just for 6 weeks. So then just until Brigden Fair is over at Thanksgiving, but it'll be fun. I'll have a good time back there. So, okay. Well, have a great week, everybody.
Yeah, have a great
week. Thanks so
have
much for spending time with us.
Enjoy your last days of summer before we get into fall weather. But we're knitters. We all enjoy fall too. So
yes.
Yeah. So we hope you have an amazing week. Take care. Happy knitting.